Hey everybody, this is Eric Stark with Radio Arizona RV. Today's episode is number 45 about RV holding tanks and the products that are available and what you should be using in them and what you should be concerned about when you're dealing with your RV holding tank. So this is the show about RV maintenance and education for the do-it-yourselfer. So if you like to do things yourself, this is the show to listen to. And if you don't like doing things yourself, this is still the show to listen to because you can certainly learn a lot and possibly head off problems down the road when you're out RVing, because when you're RVing, you're on your own. So you have to be able to take care of things to a certain level without calling in a technician quite often. So you have to be prepared. In other words, be ready to at least, if you can't fix it, to at least know what you're in for when you take it into the repair facility. So like I said, this is going to be about RV holding tanks. Now, RVs have had holding tanks for decades. For years and years, they've had holding tanks to take that black water, that gray water, and store it until you have a place to dump it. Makes the RV lifestyle pretty convenient. Depending on your RV, you might be able to go out for 3 days, a week. Well, not the RV, but even yourself, and how often you have to use the water, the toilet, and so forth. But nonetheless, you're putting stuff in the black tank and even the gray tank. The principles here for the black tank certainly apply to the gray tank. Although the gray tank doesn't get treated the same or as often as a black tank, although it should. Gray water sometimes can get just as nasty as black water. But a little history on holding tank products. Everybody has probably heard of Thetford. They have the AquaChem Blue. That's been their stable product for decades. If you hear pages flipping, that's because I'm going through a catalog here. And also if you hear a few other noises like a screw gun running in the background, our neighbors are doing some soundproofing, which ironically benefits my studio. This is nice. And it's on their dime. How cool is that, right? But anyway, so Thetford has been making AquaChem Blue for forever. It seems like it's just been around since the beginning of time, but it's been around for decades. It's been a go-to product for many years. And I have to hand it to Thetford. Their marketing on this is genius. They make RV toilets. Everybody has an Aqua Magic, an Aqua, or a Bravura Aqua Magic. They all have Aqua Magic toilets in it, or you've had one. And every time you buy a toilet or you get a new RV, it comes with a bottle of Thetford holding tank chemical. And it is what it is. It is a chemical, but their marketing has been genius on it. So they've built up a product, a brand that everybody recognizes. They, when in doubt, you just buy a bottle of Thetford. If your favorite flavor isn't available at the RV store or online, you just get a bottle of Thetford and away you go. You know what you're going to get. It's kind of like certain restaurant chains. The food might not be great, but it's always the same, and you know what you're going to get every time. That's the way it is with Thetford, and that's what you expect. The same thing every time. And I'm not knocking them. It's just their product, in my estimation, isn't the greatest, but hey, it's been a staple in the RV industry. They've been around a long time, so they definitely deserve some accolades just for that. So they did a great job. But over the years, other products have come and gone too. There's been many different products. I remember back in the 80s, I forget the name, but the company came there in Oregon or Washington. They came out with this product. They're hitting all the RV stores trying to get it in at the ground level. Then they'd start, get all the RV stores, sell to distributors and so forth. It's a routine that we all go through when we're in this business trying to get a holding tank product into a store. And I speak from experience because I used to be one of the owners of Pure Power Blue, which is owned by OP Products and now owned by Volterra. So they had products that were bubblegum flavored, cherry flavored, you name it, all these different flavors. And it was really odd. It's kind of a gimmick. So we tried it in the store I had at the time. It sold okay. It wasn't a great product. Then there was another brand. I forget the name of it, but the guy would come in, the sales rep would come in with a fish head in a jar with this holding tank product in there. It was a bacteria or enzyme type product, and show how the product would devour all the flesh off the fish head. Very interesting. So everybody's had, over the years, different things have come and gone, different types of gimmicks, different ingredients. You've had formaldehyde, enzyme, bacteria, alcohol. One brand that's no longer around, as far as I can see, is EnviroChem. They had type of stuff, nitrates that are not good for the environment, not good for anything unless you're growing crops, and even then they're still can be detrimental, according to the information I've seen about it. Different types of packaging. the measuring cup type package, which is what EnviroChem came out with, and then Odorlose came out with it. And that's made those products, two brands, an everyday product in stores because of the measuring cup. Not that the products worked great, because the measuring cup made it convenient. So it kind of changed the landscape. Over the years, the holding tank landscape has changed quite a bit. And being in the RV business and also actually manufacturing a product, Pure Power, and getting it into stores and distribution channels around the United States and Canada, you learn a lot going along the way on what the RVer really wants. Do they want a product that works, or do they want convenience? There's a percentage that like both, or a percentage that like one, a percentage that doesn't care about the other, and so forth. Been a lot of changes. A lot of different products have come and gone over the years. When my brothers and I were launching Pure Power, the distributors were like, no, we don't want another holding tank product. They called it a chemical, but it really wasn't a chemical because it was bacteria and enzymes. And we struggled to get it into the doors of distributors around the United States and Canada. In fact, we had to buy product off their shelves to get ours on the shelves. So if you want to get yours in, you got to make room. And I remember buying truckloads of T5, and it would be thrown away. We did nothing with it. We didn't resell it. It got tossed. Either the distributor threw it away, or if we happened to be in the area or a warehouse near us, we would pick it up and dispose of it ourselves. Now, a lot of people love T5, and that's kind of one of the points I'm going to get on is what people like versus what really works. But I'm building, or I'm explaining this because of the history of it. It's not so straightforward. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes that the RVer is not even aware of. What you're being sold, is it really something that works, or is it just something that's convenient? Is the picture being painted just to get your money? I mean, that's the bottom line. Everybody wants your money, right? Everybody's vying for your dollar. But there are products that work, and there's products that work much better than other ones. So over the years, you've seen different flavors, different types of ingredients. You've had national brands. You have local brands that maybe are something you only get in a region, maybe in Southern California or in Oregon. You have brands that you'd only see at swap meets or RV rallies. Happy Camper comes to mind. People love Happy Camper, but as far as I know, it's just a rally type product. It's a rally brand. And I'm not knocking it. So those are things to consider when you're purchasing, though. And most RVers have their favorite flavor, favorite brand, the product that works for them. And sometimes with wildly different reasons why this product is their favorite product. It's maybe not what you think, that it really works this way. It's because it does this and that. Things you wouldn't really expect. Like maybe you can stick your arm down the holding tank and actually wipe it clean, or wipe your finger on there and nothing comes up. That's how particular that some RVers get about their holding tank. So maybe there's a brand out there that's all it does. It cleans the holding tank off like that, and that's the only thing they care about. Nothing else matters to them. So I think you get the gist here. Sometimes a brand can be recommended, but not for the reasons that you want to use it for. Maybe to keep your sensors clean, maybe to liquefy the waste. And that brings me to the point here. There's really 4 things that you probably want to happen in your RV holding tank, in the black water tank. And I'm talking about the average tank here, not something that's brand new or something that's been abused for years, just your typical tank. Well, brand new would be okay, but just your typical RV tank. The first point is you'd want the toilet paper to break down. It's really a must, because toilet paper will hang up on the sensors. It will get caught in the valves when it's leaving the holding tank, and then the valves won't close properly, or it just builds up debris in the valve and the seals, and it creates problems all of its own. Not only will the valve not close, it'll leak. And you don't want toilet paper just hanging around in your holding tank. In fact, you don't want anything in your holding tank. So toilet paper is one. And toilet paper doesn't all break down the same. You can't just put toilet paper in water and watch it liquefy. That almost doesn't happen. It needs something to help it. And that's where the holding tank products come in. And I'll get into the more specifics of the types of products in just a moment here, but I'm talking about the things that need to happen in a tank. And the toilet paper does need to liquefy. And the solids need to liquefy. The more liquefied they are, it leaves the tank, much smoother. So it flows out of the tank, it goes through the hose and into the septic system or the sewer system, wherever it's going to, wherever the RV park is hooked up to, or the house, whatever it might be. But you want it to be liquefied. You don't want solids trying to leave the tank. Solids create problems too. They hang up on stuff. They get in the valves. They create problems with the valve and the seal. They get hung up in the sewer hose. So, liquefied is what you want. And then, of course, the sensors. The sensors need to be cleaned as well. Otherwise, your holding tank gauges won't work. And holding tank gauges have been kind of a sore subject for RVers since the day they were invented. Probably the first day or two, they were okay. Hey, this is great. Now I have an idea. Then after time went on, well, it gets me close. It's better than what I had before, which was nothing. Okay, now it's not so great. It's always shown that it's full, and the tank's, not full. It's empty. I just drained it. So you can see the holding tank sensors were great. They've evolved into something bad, probably, I would guess, because of the response and what I hear about them. So they can help, but they can also be a problem. So you want the sensors to be cleaned. They need to be cleaned so they work properly. And if there's toilet paper hanging up on them, solids hanging up on them, you get a film built over them, that's not being cleaned. That's just creating problems, so your sensors, your gauges won't work the way they should. And the tank itself should be cleaned. It's not like you're going to stick your arm in there and take a white glove test to it, but you want to make sure that if you can see the tank, that it actually is clean. Like in my toy hauler, I can see the bottom of the tank and it stays clean. It's an indicator that things are good, and you can kind of tilt your head a little bit, see a little bit more. I'm not going to stick my arm down there, not even going to stick a mirror down there. I don't care that much. It's a black water tank. There's only certain things we need to care about. And of course you want there to be no odor. We don't want to have an odor in the tank, that's for sure. That's the whole point was the whole point of holding tank products way back in the day, before they had sensors and before things got a little more complicated. But even after the tank, you have your holding tank, you have your valves, you want something to happen there as well. You want the valves to stay clean, the seals to stay clean, the sewer hose itself, you don't want that to be, caked up with solids and waste and toilet paper. Not only is it disgusting, but it's not going to compact down to the same size. So if you're trying to put it into a bumper, eventually that sewer hose is going to, if it's a 10-foot hose, it's not going to compact to the 3-foot it once did. It's going to only compact to 9 feet because it's filled with so much waste. And the septic system or the sewer system that you're dumping your tank into, it goes into a septic system or a city sewer. It goes into something. And ultimately, when you're putting harsh chemicals in a septic system, it's not good for it. Formaldehyde, nitrates, other things like that, they're not going to help the holding or the septic system. They're going to cause problems in it, just like they do in an RV holding tank, except in this case, you're talking about a lot of money to have it repaired. And if it goes into a city sewer system, it can deal with chemicals much better. But if you can avoid putting something in there that's going to stress the system, why put it in there? Just buy a product that's not going to be hard on any type of system, whether it's septic or city sewer. Remember, it's your taxpayer dollars at work. If you're dumping at home, or maybe it's an RV park in the same area or county you live in, somehow we all pay for this. If taxes go up, prices go up. And in some areas, like Yuma, Arizona, Florida, Texas, they get a lot of RVers in there, so those parks can be overtaxed with chemicals, whether it goes into their own septic system or into a sewer system. So you want to be kind to it. In fact, some parks, have signs up, or they have requirements that no formaldehyde be used, no chemicals. They might list the names, and they only want to see bacteria or enzyme type products. So that's for the average holding tank. And what to be honest with you, what I have found, and this isn't just because, I was part of a company that made Pure Power. We launched that product from basically a small little warehouse, doing a few hundred bottles a day, to a full-on bottling line, be able to crank out 10,000 bottles in a day. So, I've seen it. I've sold it. I've talked to, thousands of people about holding tank products. I've seen all the different brands. We've tested all the different brands. And, test after test. I mean, you name it, we've done it. And the Pure Power always seemed to work the best of all the products on the market at that time. Now, I'm not saying it's the best today, but it's the go-to product for me. And it's a bacterial enzyme product, so it digests the waste, it digests the solids, it digests the toilet paper, it's going to digest the film or any buildup on the sensors in the holding tank. So essentially, it's going to keep everything working the best you can possibly get it inside of a holding tank without getting in there and scrubbing it. And it works fast. And that's part of the beauty of Pure Power is it has a high concentration of bacteria and enzymes. And both of them work together to dissolve the waste. And it turns in the little enzymes and bacteria turn in carbon dioxide and water. So you're not adding to the tank, you're just breaking it down. It's being dissolved, liquefied, if you will. And we've done this test with dog food and other things, and it you put it in a jar and it breaks it down. It does what it's supposed to do. It's been done with human waste, with animal waste. It's been done with everything. So if Pure Power Blue or Pure Power, there's two. There's Pure Power Green and Pure Power Blue. We carry Pure Power Blue. Pure Power Green was awesome, but why not just get the blue? It's better. It's a better product, higher concentration, different cleaning products in it that help clean the tank as well. And it's blue. Everybody likes blue for some reason. The color doesn't always matter. But so that's, if you really want to do all of the above that I just mentioned, Pure Power is the product to use. And then if you just want to mask odor, then Thetford Aquachem is the product for you. If none of the other things matter, then the Thetford Aquachem is the product for you. And now these are the two products that we sell, or that I sell in my store, and that's it. I've tried a couple things over the years, and I just go back to the Pure Power and Aquachem Blue. That's it. And it keeps it simple. We don't lose sales because of that, because we're selling a good product, which is the Pure Power. Then we're selling an okay product, which is the Aquachem. And RVers are going to have a different flavor or a different take on that. And some are going to want a certain product, as I mentioned earlier, like Happy Camper. That might be the only product they want to get. But you can't get it in most RV stores. It's a rally type product. Now, some RV stores might carry it because they've called up Happy Camper and they just have to have it. They want to carry it for a customer or something like that. And that's great. But ultimately, these two products do the job, and there's a ton of them out there. I'm flipping through the distributor catalog we have where we buy all of our products, and there's about 10 different companies doing their spin on holding tank products. Camco, Cronin, Dometic, Odorlose, Thetford, Wallex, to name a few. Dometic. Dometic makes toilets and air conditioners, and they also make chemicals. And they've been trying to get into this business for a long time, and they've kind of succeeded. Not that great. I haven't used their products. I won't sell their products because there's, I think, other products that are better. But that's just me. But for you, you want a product that's going to do those four things I mentioned. It's going to break down the toilet paper. It's going to break down the waste. It's going to clean the sensors, and the tank itself should be cleaned when it's all said and done. So a bacterial enzyme product is probably going to be your best bet on that, even if it's not Pure Power. There's other brands. There's other brands that, are all safe. They're environmentally friendly. And you might have a particular brand that works for you, for what you want it to do. And maybe you've tried Pure Power and it didn't work. No problem. We're not going to worry about that, because we know from all the years we talked to RVers on the phone, selling our product, going through their problems, that Pure Power was not always the product of choice. And it could be for reasons that we think were crazy, or they can be legitimate reasons. People are just trying to do a specific thing and nothing else matters, or it just doesn't work for them. The only product they've ever tried that works is Thetford Blue. Or maybe it was RV Treen when RV Treen was on the face of the earth. Or it's Odorlose. It could be any one of those. So you sometimes have to experiment maybe with a couple different brands, try some things out. But keep in mind, if you're using a product like Pure Power, it's an bacterial enzyme product. If you put Thetford, Aquachem, their blue product in there, it's going to kill the bacterial enzyme. So you don't want to mix them. You want to try them out in completely different batches of holding tank mess. So you go camping one time, try the Aquachem. If you go camping another time, after you flush your tank, thoroughly clean it out, then you try Pure Power. Do it that way, and it doesn't matter what brand it is. You want to do that way. That way you're getting true results, and you're really able to see what you want to do. And every brand claims they do something. Every brand claims to be the best, but there's only a few that really work well. And I know, I'm going to say it, Pure Power is one of them that I know works well, and that's from all the testing we have done, and we got behind the product, put our money into it. We had skin in the game based on a product that we really felt worked. And just like everybody else, they have skin in the game. They're investing money in it. And I'm not saying not all the other products don't work. Some work better than others. It might even be the area you're in, the climate you're in. If you're in the desert, you might not want to screw around with anything other than a product that just controls the odor, and that's it. You don't care about anything else. You just don't want that odor when it's 100 degrees out, 110 degrees out. Where, on the other hand, you might be in a colder climate where it's a little chillier during the summertime, maybe the northern part of the country, and you want a product that's just going to break down the waste in the colder area and keep your sensors working. So it just depends on you and what you want to accomplish. But a bacterial enzyme product is the best. A high concentration of it is even better because it's going to work quicker. In most cases, you're out RVing, 3 days, 5 days before you have to empty your holding tank. So you don't want something that takes a week for it to start working. You want something that starts working the minute it's put in there. And that's where bacteria and enzymes do that. They start working immediately. And a clean tank makes life easier because when you're dumping your tank and everything comes out as liquid, that makes it a breeze. In fact, when you go to flush out your tank just to get the residual out, you're not really having to do a major cleaning. It makes the whole process easier. Dumping your RV tank becomes easier. Cleaning it, if you're going to get a wand and put it in the tank and flush it out, it makes it easier. So that's for the average easygoing RV tank. Now, what if you have an RV tank that has problems? Maybe your sensors haven't worked since you bought the RV. You bought a used RV. It's 8, 9 years old, 5 years old. Sensors aren't working. Well, you can get different products to clean the sensors. I know there's one that's a spin-off of Pure Power. It's called Sensor Power, made by the same company, which is now Volterra. It works very well. There's 2 treatments per 16-ounce bottle, so it's 8 ounces per tank. And you can actually use the holding tank while you're using Sensor Power. You can actually put in Pure Power on top of it, and it's not going to hurt anything. It's actually going to help it. But that will clean the sensors. And then if you continue Pure Power after that, it'll keep the sensors clean. So you don't want to clean the sensors and then go to a product that doesn't break down the waste or toilet paper. Anything with formaldehyde, it's not going to break it down. It's going to preserve it. It's going to control the odor. So that's just going to add to your problems. And you can hear that drilling noise in the background. That's part of the soundproofing. So hopefully when it's all soundproof, that goes away. And I had no choice in doing this episode. It had to happen today because of my schedule. So I had to contend with that, just like you are. But, so if you have a problem like with your sensors, as I said, use Sensor Power. Stick with a product that's really going to work, and then they have another product that you can use down the road. Something that's going to keep the sensors clean after that initial cleaning to get them working again. Now, what if your tank doesn't drain? It has filled with solids. Maybe you're new to RVing, and someone told you didn't need to open, or you could open the black water valve while you're out camping. And all of a sudden, those solids aren't leaving the tank. The liquid is, and solids are building up until there's a mountain of solids that reach the bottom of the toilet. Yeah, that paints a vivid picture, doesn't it? A mountain of solids. But when you have that problem, even if you're not new to RVing, something goes wrong, it's just not draining, whatever it might be. You can take a product like Pure Power and dump in, 32 ounces. You could try a little less, but if you put in like a 32-ounce bottle, let it sit for 24 to 48 hours, it's going to liquefy the waste. And you pour in the bottle, and then you fill it up with water, or, the rest of the tank with water, so it has some water. It needs water to work, so it has food and water. Everything's perfect, nice and warm, so the Pure Power is going to work great. And it should liquefy it within 48 hours. Sometimes it's going to do sooner, a little bit sooner, sometimes a little bit longer. But you're trying to solve the problem. So even if it took 3 or 4 days, you're still ahead of the curve because you've cleaned it out now. And you're going to want to stick with Pure Power after that. And we have told people that thousands of RVers, and it has worked thousands of times. That's a huge problem among RVers, whether you know that or not. It's huge. If we don't get someone in or people in every week with that problem, it's surprising. So that works. And so those are the extreme things. Or even if the tank has a lot of buildup in it, you're having a hard time getting it out, the odors won't go away. A product like Pure Power, bacterial enzyme, will clean the tank out. And I know it sounds like a big giant advertisement for Pure Power, and believe me, it's not. It's what the product's made of and that it works. I guess it is an advertisement because that's all we sell in our store besides AquaChem Blue. But I think you understand what I'm going with this. It's not trying to just push a product or a brand on you. It's because it's a bacterial enzyme product and it works. But like I said, if you have a product that works for you, does everything you need it to do, then just stick with that product. There's no point in changing it unless you feel you want to try something else. You're open to it. It's not a huge investment. It's not a big financial investment. It's not a big investment of time. And there are a plethora of things out there. They have lemon flavored, orange flavored, some companies have, different spins of each product. Like Camco has variations of their product. Monochem has variations of their product. Dometic variations of their product. Thetford, Valterra, everybody. So, trying maybe one particular type of product by the same company, it doesn't work for you, but if you buy another one of their products, it might work, But be open to it, but have an understanding that you need to do the 4 things: clean the sensors, break down the toilet paper, break down the solids, and make sure the tank is cleaned. So those are your goals when it comes to cleaning your RV tank. And it's really not that complicated. It's pretty simple. Find a product that works and stick with it. Don't switch. If you go to a store, don't buy this brand because the guy in the store says that's the best brand in the world. If what you're using works, and if it's a national brand, that's the other thing that's important too. You don't want to buy a product in Oklahoma and you can't get it anywhere else in the country. You want to buy a product that you can get in other places. So when you're traveling, you're not worried about it. You just go into the RV. You don't have to carry, a case of it. You can just go to the RV store and buy the product you need, the product that works. And sometimes when you're forced to switch, sometimes it might be good or might be for bad. If someone doesn't have your favorite brand or flavor, you might switch to something else because you absolutely have to. Then you have to do that. And sometimes it's for the good. You might find something that works better. So this should help. It should help you have a better understanding of what you need to do with your holding tank, what your expectations should be. And remember, it is a black water tank. It's not the, it's not something on, it's not a complicated system, really. It is to a degree, but, I was trying to find something to compare it to, but it's really just, it's a black water tank. So just follow the directions I give. And I think you should be fine with it. So if you have any questions, you can certainly call me. You can email me, text me, 800-789-5588 or Eric at ArizonaRVparts.com, or go to our website, radioarizonarv.com, and listen to the episode and look at the show notes, have a little more information there. And also, if you go to our website, radioarizonarv.com, fill out our, sign up for our newsletter. I'm not going to spam your inbox, but I'm going to give you timely information, things that you can use for your RV, how to maintain it, things that are going to educate you. And also, as new episodes come out, I'm going to start sending out emails letting you know what the episode, when it's coming out, what it's about. So a little heads up there. so you can stay ahead of the curve. Or if you know you're dealing with a problem and you know an episode's coming up, it might be worthwhile to listen to the episode. But as always, you can give me a call, 800-789-5588, or again, check out the website, radioarizonarv.com. I want to thank you again for listening, and this is Eric Stark with Radio Arizona RV.